30th, 2023 meeting of the Easton Finance Committee. In keeping with an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, this meeting will be conducted remotely over Zoom. Attendance by board and commission members will be remote, and remote attendance shall count towards quorum. The meeting will be broadcast live and recorded on ECAT. So you guys know the drill. We're going to do a round robin voice vote to make sure we're all here and that we do indeed have quorum, and then we'll dive in. So I'm just going to go down the list here. Where are my panelists? Mr. DiNardo.
Present.
Ms. DiNapoli. She's finding that mute button.
Sorry, present.
Stiaz.
Present.
I hate when the thing auto shifts everybody around. Mr. Olson.
Olson present.
Mr. Jenkins.
Jenkins here.
Mrs. Lamb.
Lamb here.
Mr. Vamosi.
Vamosi present.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And Helen is here. Let's see if anybody else has tried to join in the meantime. No. All right. Perfect. We are in session. Hey, everybody. This should be a relatively quick one. The first and foremost thing on the agenda is the reappointment vote. So I have to submit essentially a document for each of the following: 1 for audit committee, 2 for budget, 1 for capital, and then the chair and vice chair document. So I feel like we do this differently every year because I never remember how we did it the last time. So it's always a bit of a crapshoot. But my thought, as usual, is to ask for people that are interested in the various different committees. We have some obviously people that are returning, or I think most people have expressed interest in returning to the seats that they'd had last year. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with people raising their hand if they want to get involved as well. The only thing that I don't have a direct answer on is Mr. DiPietro is on the budget subcommittee. So I don't know that if he wanted to continue. Has anyone spoken to him about it?
I'm finding out now.
Oh, you texting him? Yeah, there you go. He'll be on in 5 minutes late as per usual. So I need 1 person to jump in for audit committee, 2 for budget, and 1 for capital. As you all mull that over, let's go through the various different meeting minutes we have to approve, because I think there's 4 altogether.
Patrick, I have a question first though. Am I still on the audit committee? So is this a new position for audit, or is this like nobody's on their committees anymore?
No one is on their committees anymore as of the 30th. So the expiration date for committee appointments is June 30th. The new round starts on July 1st. So this is still 1 person from the FinCom on the audit committee. It's just if you want to continue, raise your hand. If anyone else wants to, we'll give you guys knives and we'll bring you out to the parking lot and we'll see how this goes. Should be.
Mr. DiPietro is in Milwaukee.
Yep.
But he wishes to continue with his post.
All right. So he is raising his hand for.
I'm raising his hand for him.
Good job.
Can I do that? I'm not sure if I can, but
you're the vice chair, and maybe if I'm lucky, you'll be the chair tonight. So I think it's going to go well. I think overall. So again, think about it. If anyone has any interest in any of these, we've got 4 openings plus chair and vice chair. Let's go through the meeting minutes and we'll come back to it.
Question on the meeting minutes.
Yep.
Do we have to vote on those individually, or can we just say we've reviewed them all and vote on them as one big blanket of meeting minutes?
It's actually up to you guys. So if someone makes a motion to vote as a block, that's totally fine. Just to reiterate, you do not have to be present for the meeting to vote the meeting minutes as included. It's just a standard functionality just to include them in the permanent record.
Okay.
We had one. The reason why one of these is so late, the December one, is that's when I had COVID. And so I finally hit the COVID lottery and completely forgot that meeting even existed because I was essentially a lunatic for 10 days. So apologies from my end that we did not get that finalized. Everything else is pretty well in in rain, I think. Going back to the in-person meeting and then the other two. So if someone wants to make a motion to accept all, feel free.
I would like to make a motion to accept all.
Do I have
I'll
a second? All
A
right.
second.
Thank
Does
you.
anyone have any, before I actually take the vote, does anyone have any concerns or edits for those individual minutes that we could rectify? Seeing none, I will go down the list. DiNardo,
DiNardo's a yes.
DiNapoli,
DiNapoli, yes.
Diaz,
Diaz, yes.
Olson,
Olson, yes.
Jenkins,
Jenkins, yes.
Lamb,
Lamb, yes.
Vamosi,
Famosi is yes.
and Helen is a yes. Thank you all. Those are approved. Let me close the 4 windows I had open just in case we needed to talk about them. And back to the agenda. All right, so with that, probably the easiest one of the night, I'm looking at all of you and in disappointment, is chair and vice chair. So does anyone have any interest in being the chair of the finance committee?
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Patrick Helen to continue as
Second.
chair.
Seconded, thirded,
Yeah.
seventh.
DiNardo,
DiNardo is yes.
Napoli,
DiNapoli, yes.
Diaz,
Yes.
Olson,
Olson, yes.
Jenkins,
Jenkins, yes.
Lamb,
Lamb, yes.
Vamosi.
Famosi is yes.
I am a yes, because what the hell? I'm already in here. Why the hell not vote and do it unanimously? Now that it's my chance for revenge, does anyone have any interest in being the vice chair before I then immediately make a motion to recommend Ms.
Yeah.
Said?
I
I
do have
second.
an interest in being the vice chair again.
I don't care if you or not, because I'm dragging you into this.
Yeah, recruited,
Speech,
drafted,
need a
recruited.
speech.
Yeah, let's hear
Have a
your,
debate. No.
your
I nominate Ms. Diaz for vice chair.
I
second.
second that nomination.
Robert seconds. All right.
DiNapoli, yes.
DiNardo,
DiNardo, yes.
Diaz,
I accept, yes.
Olson,
Olson, yes.
Jenkins,
Jenkins, yes.
Lamb,
Lamb, yes.
Mosi,
Famosi is yes.
and I am a yes. All right. So let's run down the list. So essentially, we've got these 4 spots. This might be the quickest meeting on record if we can get through these relatively simply, but let's go into it. So audit committee, Kelly, you were our appointee for the previous year. You do want to continue.
I think Robert had said last meeting he wants that spot, so I'm fine if
Yeah,
you
but
want.
before I step into that though, Kelly, tell me how it is. I mean,
Yeah.
how was your experience? You
I
know?
think yeah, it was really good to go through the town budget in retrospect and really see how the money was spent and how it turned out. So I think it was a good experience. And I'd be happy if there's an opening on the budget committee to move over there.
Sure.
So Kelly, do you want to put your name in, or are you stepping back and allowing Robert to put his name in?
So I'm gonna let Robert, put his name in for the audit and I'll put my name in for budget.
All right, so put budget. All right, so does anyone else have any interest in audit? All right, seeing none, I will actually make a motion to appoint Mr. Jenkins to the audit committee. Do I have a second?
Second.
She's so quick, right? She's right there. All right, so let's go down the list again. DiNardo,
DiNardo is yes.
DiNapoli,
DiNapoli, yes.
Diaz,
Yes, yes.
Olson,
Olson, yes.
Jenkins,
I accept.
Lamb,
Lamb, yes.
Mosi.
Famosi is yes.
I'm a yes. All right. So for audit, congratulations. We have a new appointee. So since this is a new option, and just to make sure I reiterate this before we end tonight, I will submit everything tomorrow to the town clerk. The individual committees and subcommittees and boards will reach out to everybody appointed to make sure you have an understanding as to when you're going to be meeting and all the various different things. For those of you that already been there and get reappointed, you're already in the mix. But just as an FYI, if anyone does get appointed. All right, so that's audit. For budget, we had Mr. DePietro has thrown his hat in the ring, but he's not here, so we can talk badly about him. Shireen, you had it last year. Do you want to continue on? Do you want to put your hat in the ring again?
I do.
All right, so Shireen, and now Kelly is saying yes to that as well. Is there anyone else that's interested? No one. All right, so
I'm sorry, before you vote, what are the other open committees?
the only other opening is capital.
Which
And-
I'm gonna
So, yeah.
request that I can serve again on that.
Christina, I know you want to put your hat back in the ring for that.
Yeah,
Outside of that, there's nothing like the school planning committee is Tim and I, and it's pretty much winding down to its final days. I think we're looking at the last couple meetings. There very well might be additional appointees for whatever ends up coming out of this capital associated DPW fire station
Project.
process, but I don't know what that's going to look like yet. I don't have full confirmation we're going to need an official appointee or if it's going to be someone like, hey, as a community member, I'd like to be involved.
Okay. And Kelly really wants the exposure.
I mean, she's right here. Let's ask her. Kelly, do you want the exposure?
I was just looking to learn. It's, you know, it's not for any other reason. So if, you know, it doesn't work out this time, I can join the next committee.
And to be fair, I'm always Switzerland in these. I find that my experience with other boards is most other boards rotate a lot of these positions around to make sure everyone has a chance, which is fine. You guys obviously don't like me enough to not do that with chair, but that's cool. Thank you a lot. But for these types of appointments, honestly, for the people that are here, you know, we're gonna have someone
I will,
process. It's up to you guys how you want to play this. I want to make sure that it's fair to everyone though.
right, so I'll give up my seat because Mike does want to be on the budget subcommittee, he said. So I will
Okay.
give up my seat to Kelly and Mike can keep his.
You're so, look at that. See, that's chair quality right there. Let's revote. Let's go back to chair and revote. Let's just see.
Already in the record.
God damn it. All right. So then let's do this. I'm going to make a motion to appoint Mike DePietro and Kelly Lamb to the two openings on the budget subcommittee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Shireen is the second.
sorry,
All
I
right.
couldn't unmute fast enough. I
All
tried.
right. Too late that time. Jenkins is getting faster than you though. He's getting close. Like almost
know.
every meeting.
I'm learning.
I have to be more prepared, sorry.
All right. So DiNardo,
Denardo is a yes.
DiNapoli,
DiNapoli, yes.
Diaz,
Yes.
Wilson,
Olson, yes.
Jenkins,
Jenkins, yes.
Lamb,
Ma'am, yes?
Mosi,
Tomosi's yes.
and I am a yes. All right, so last one is capital. Christina, you had the role last. You said you do want to put your hat back in the ring. Does anyone else have any interest in going for capital? Seems like this is going to be an easy one. All right, so with that, I make a motion to appoint Christina DiNapoli back to the capital subcommittee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Look at that, he gotcha. All right, DiNardo,
Denardo is a yes.
DiNapoli,
DiNapoli, yes.
Diaz,
Yes.
Wilson,
Olson, yes.
Jenkins,
Jenkins, yes.
Lamb,
Ma'am, yes?
Mosi,
Tomosi's yes.
and I'm a yes. All right. So Christina's on capital. We have Michael and Kelly on budget, and we have Robert on audit. All right. So with that, that's the business for this evening. The only thing I was going to add before someone motions to adjourn is that there are other, and I thought of this tonight when I was looking through it, there are other subcommittees and committees that are looking for additional roles and additional members. It wouldn't be something that we would necessarily have to appoint you to as a FinCom representative, but you could absolutely see if there's anything else that you're interested in. If you want some additional exposure to how the town is operating, you can definitely raise your hand and see about, you know, green committees and the various different other pieces that are out there and see if you want to get involved in those. like I said, it's something that you'd actually go and ask to be appointed, and they would appoint you as a member. The best example I can use is that when Jane Martin was on the school committee, she was one of the appointed people for the school planning. And then when she left the school committee, she raised her hand as a community member, and they appointed her as that community member role. So just want to throw that out there as part of this conversation. With that,
Thank you.
before we adjourn,
I got one thing. I think with also, don't we have to do the groups for reorganization post a vote? So everybody was elected in April. We didn't actually get to do that because the budget came right up after May. So our next meeting, we might have to, I don't think it's something that's urgent that we have to have like an emergency meeting for, but we would have to do a reorganization of who's responsible for what departments.
that is a good call. I completely forgot about that part. Yeah, we'll do that on the next meeting, but that actually dovetails perfectly into my next point, which is when that next meeting will be. So for the summer, as of last year, there wasn't a heck of a lot going on. So it's pretty calm for the months of July and August, almost across the board. As Tim said, there's no immediate need to realign or reassign people. If people do have an interest in sort of getting different department assignments for that budget season that will be coming up, we definitely can go through that at our next meeting. Other than this meeting, we're caught up on meeting minutes. There's really not much else coming together unless Connor and or Wendy or someone needs to do some sort of appointment or pull from one of our various different accounts. So this is the last time we're going to meet, probably until right around that September timeframe, if not late August. So with that, if there's anything else you guys need or anything else that comes up, definitely let me know. We can always put a one-off. You will all have to go and be sworn in again for these various different boards. So just keep that in mind. Once you get the outreach from the town clerk's office, you're going to have to make a time. If you can get there before July 1st, it's obviously ideal. But with that, there's nothing else for me. So I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Here we go. All right, DiNardo,
Narrow is yes.
DiNapoli,
DiNapoli, yes.
Diaz,
Yes.
Olson,
Olson, yes.
Jenkins,
Jenkins, yes.
Lamb,
Lamb, yes.
Bamosi,
Promosi, yes.
and I am a yes. Congratulations to everybody. Welcome to another year of nonstop craziness and fun here at the FinCom, the cool committee. Thank you. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you,
Thanks.
guys.
Bye,
everyone. Good night.
guys.
Bye. all.
Please.